Okay, so get this. Driving the Last Spike charted in Canada and the United States, peaking at number 51 on the Canadian RPM Top Singles chart and number 25 on the US Billboard Album Rock Tracks chart. I had no idea that Driving the Last Spike was a single in any way. It's a 10-minute long song, 10 minutes. So the lyrics of this tune is by Phil Collins, and I think he was reading a book, right? He was reading a book about the 19th century workers who died while constructing some of the British railways. We have those stories in Canada as well, and of course in the US. This is a really unique song musically too, because it borrows some of those older Peter Gabriel era long songs, songs like Cinema Show and Musical Box. It has some of those, but it's all done in this modern production, modern electronics. There's drum machines in it. That kind of like where the electric guitar starts, and then the 80s 808, sorry, not the 80s, but the 808 sounds of like the congas and the shakers. What's really cool about that is when this song starts, you would think, oh, I'm in for a In Too Deep or a Hold On My Heart, but you're actually in for a 10-minute epic song about, dying while building the railroad. That's, one of the great things that juxtaposition alone, but just this. And a lot of people don't love the Phil Collins era of Genesis and as they progressed. But I think this is so cool, is that you're hearing modern day instruments and hi-fi production values that didn't exist back in the Foxtrot and Nursery Crime Trespass days of Genesis. But now they do exist, but they can still do these long songs. So I think Driving the Last Spike is a great example of the old Genesis done by the new Genesis. And the choruses are cool too. Can You Hear Me? Like, it's just a cool, way different melody. Remember how I talked about these moments that you live for in some of these longer songs? Everyone has their own like special moment. Go to 5 minutes and 54 seconds on Driving the Last Spike. That's the moment I live for. It goes into a double time. Very similar to the Cinema Show. I talked about that earlier, where it kind of locks into this groove. And that's what I like about Driving the Last Spike is it comes into this. I mean, so much about this song I love. And when it breaks down again, like really soft and with these big synth pads from Tony Banks, but that groove at 5:54, 5:53, go ahead and listen to that. Pause this video and hear that groove where it goes into double time, I think it is. But oh my gosh, I love this song. What do you think about Driving the Last Spike? I think they played it on the We Can't Dance tour. Wouldn't it have been great to hear it on the Last Domino tour? I know that they played Fading Lights, a part of Fading Lights, but gosh, this would have been a nice one to hear. This is one of the curses of Genesis and having so many long songs. Is people want to hear the both Dominoes. People want to hear both Home by the Seas. People want to hear Cinema Show, Firth the Fifth, and they want to hear Supper's Ready, and they want to hear Fading Lights in full. And a lot of people would love to hear Driving the Last Spike. I wonder what some of the true Genesis fans of the pre-Phil Collins era would think about Driving the Last Spike, or what are they? Where does it rank? I know a lot of people like Fading Lights, regardless of their opinion on We Can't Dance, and I think Driving the Last Spike would be probably well respected by most Genesis fans. So what do you think about it? I think it's a fantastic song. Very cool that they put it early in the album too, right? Hit song No Son of Mine, which is a serious. Goofy song Jesus He Knows Me, which is a pop hit song. Then Driving the Last Spike, and then I Can't Dance. That's kind of interesting. This is usually sounds like it'd be deeper in the album.